Welcome to this explainer. Look, whether you're a global procurement officer, an e-commerce seller, or a brand owner, your sourcing strategy, it's literally the heartbeat of your business. Today, we're setting a massive goal. We are going to elevate your cookware sourcing strategy from an amateur level to a true enterprise level operation for 2026. We're pulling back the curtain on the supply chain to show you exactly how the pros operate. Okay, let's dive into this. Are you still relying on 1688 for high-end premium cookware? Honestly, it's a tough question, but a completely necessary one. Now, platforms like 1688, they're phenomenal for off-the-shelf products, domestic wholesale, or, grabbing small batches of inventory just to test a market. But if you're an ambitious brand owner trying to scale globally, relying solely on 1688 is like trying to win a Formula One race in a go-kart. It absolutely limits your ability to scale, control quality, and really build a lasting brand.
So what are the actual risks of amateur sourcing? Well, first up is material certification. High-end cookware demands verified, food-grade coatings like genuine Whitward or Teflon and rigorous heavy metal testing. 1688 listings frequently lack this granular documentation, which you absolutely need for EU or US customs. No way around it. Second, customization limits. Try asking a middleman to custom engineer an impact-bonded bottom or tweak a handle design. It's a massive game of telephone, and it usually ends poorly. And third, compliance audits. Large retailers require factories that pass SEDEX or BSCI audits. Most sellers on 1688 are just trading companies or small workshops that simply haven't invested in those rigorous standards.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. First, moving beyond the 1688 marketplace. Second, mapping regional cookware clusters. Third, China's Tier 1 manufacturers. Fourth, the professional procurement workflow. And finally, logistics and QC. Let's get into it. Section 1. Beyond the 1688 marketplace. Because true professional procurement means moving way beyond surface-level marketplaces. Section 2. Mapping regional cookware clusters. Because before we meet the actual players, we really need to understand the geography. In China, cookware manufacturing is highly localized. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how clear the divides in expertise are. Manufacturing here isn't just random. Notice how the Guangdong region, specifically Jiangmen and Yanfu, absolutely dominates in stainless steel. They focus heavily on high-end finishing and multiply technology. But contrast that with Zhejiang up north, particularly Yangkang and Ningbo. They are an absolute powerhouse for aluminum. Their strength lies in incredible cost efficiency, high automation, and trendy coatings. And to round out the whole shebang, you'd look to Yangjing for specialized knives and cutlery, or Linyi in Shandong, which is rapidly emerging as the go-to hub for traditional and enameled cast iron. Section 3. China's Tier 1 manufacturers. Now that we have a solid mental map, it's time to introduce the 2026 industry titans operating in these clusters. Starting down in Guangdong, we have Linkfair Group. They are widely considered one of the largest stainless steel cookware manufacturers on the entire planet. If you're building a premium brand or you're a high-volume retailer, Linkfair is a prime target for sure. They specialize in impact bonding in really high-end 3-ply or 5-ply stainless steel sets. Just keep in mind, playing at this level means higher minimum order quantities, or MOQs. You're typically looking at over 1,000 units per SKU, but in return, you get absolutely world-class quality control. Moving over to the aluminum cluster in Ningbo, we've got Sanhe Kitchenware. If you are an Amazon or Shopify seller needing trendy, high-performance non-stick lines, Sanhe is your go-to. They specialize in pressed and forged aluminum with these beautiful ceramic coatings. But what makes them incredibly valuable for e-commerce brands is their strong internal design team. It makes them absolutely perfect for original design manufacturing or ODM projects. Heading back to the stainless steel hub of Jingmen, we find Xinhui Rixing Enterprise Limited. They have decades of heritage focusing specifically on the export market. What does this mean for you? Well, it means they have deep ingrained experience with Western quality standards and logistics requirements. They are literally the ideal partner for mid to high-end brands looking for professional-grade durability in their pots and pans. And then we have the two massive rivals in Zhejiang, Supar versus ASD. Supar is an absolute industry titan, now largely owned by the French SEB group. They offer incredible R&D and diversified categories, everything from pressure cookers to small appliances. On the flip side, ASD is a direct competitor, boasting some of the most advanced automated non-stick production lines in all of Asia.
So while Supar brings that global R&D backing, ASD offers massive scale, die-cast aluminum, and cost-efficient mass production, which is absolutely perfect for large-scale distributors and discount retailers.
Section 4, the professional procurement workflow. So, the crucial point is, knowing the Titans is only half the battle. Now we need to talk about how to actually handle them.
Let's walk through this insider workflow. Step 1. Before you ever even ask for a price, you absolutely must define your bill of materials, or BOM. Are you asking for 304 or 201 stainless steel? Which specific coating brand do you want? Is the bottom impact bonded or brazed? You gotta know. Step 2 is certification verification. Never just take a supplier's word for it. Demand recent FDA or LFGB reports from third-party labs like SGS or TUV. Oh, and make sure their factory audit, like BSCI, is less than 12 months old.
All of this builds into the sample protocol. In the cookware industry, the golden sample is everything. First, you get a proto sample, which is really just for checking the physical shape and feel in your hand. Next, you request a pre-production sample featuring the final coating and your branding. And finally, the stress test. This is where the factory floor truly comes to life, and frankly, where bad pans go to die. You do the tactile egg test to physically see the nonstick surface in action, or you order a brutal salt spray test to guarantee that stainless steel has real corrosion resistance before you wire a massive deposit. Now, while we're on the subject of testing that final sample, I want to inject a question every single professional buyer faces. Which coating is actually better, ceramic or PTFE? While the truth is, it depends entirely on your brand positioning. PTFE, think your traditional Teflon style, offers objectively better long-term nonstick performance, but it has heat limitations. Ceramic, on the other hand, is widely perceived by consumers as the greener option, and it can withstand much higher temperatures. However, it does tend to lose its nonstick slickness faster over time, so you really have to weigh these facts against what your target customer values the most. Section 5. Logistics and quality control. We're moving away from the glamour of design and diving right into the unglamorous details that actually dictate your profit margins. Let's talk numbers. 800 to 1,200 sets is the standard minimum order quantity for custom OEM orders with these Tier 1 manufacturers. But if you're just starting out, there's a workaround. Some factories, particularly in that highly automated Zhejiang cluster we talked about, might accept an order of around 500 units if you're using an open mold product and simply doing a logo change. Next up is time. Standard production lead time is typically 35 to 50 days. But here is your absolutely crucial 2026 insider tip. You must build in an extra 14 days to your schedule to account for current volatility in major global shipping lanes. Seriously, do not let a sold-out storefront ruin your momentum just because you didn't pad your logistics calendar. And this brilliantly illustrates how professional buyers protect their investments. Look, cookware is heavy and voluminous, and nobody wants to pay to ship expensive, empty air across the Pacific. Nested packaging, which is stacking pots inside each other, is absolutely essential to reduce shipping volume. Furthermore, never ship without a pre-shipment inspection or PSI. Have your third-party inspectors measure the exact coating thickness in microns and perform cross-cut adhesion tests. This ensures those non-stick surfaces won't peel before they even leave China. To wrap up the mechanics here, let's hit these two rapid-fire FAQs. First, how do you know if you're dealing with an actual manufacturer or just a trader sitting in a fancy downtown office? Simple. You check their Chinese business license. The scope of business must specifically include production or manufacturing. If their registered address is a high-rise in the city center rather than an industrial zone, yeah, they're a trader. Second question, can it be eco-friendly? Absolutely. Leading factories like Sanhe and Linkfair now offer amazing green lines featuring 100% recycled aluminum and PFSS-free coatings to meet those strict EU sustainability regulations. So, we've covered the geography, the titans, the workflow, and the margins. You've seen the maturity arc from buying off the shelf all the way to engineering a flawless golden sample. I want to leave you with this provocative thought. Now that you have the insider's blueprint and the tools to source like a true enterprise, which Tier 1 manufacturer is going to build your brand's legacy in 2026? The map is in your hands. Now it's time to execute.